is Bianca with WNRR Gospel 1380 AM and with Toccoa Gospel Music News. And today we had the opportunity to interview one of gospel's finest, who's Bishop L Spenser Smith. He has a new album that's coming out entitled Unstoppable that'll be out in the fall. And he also let us hear just about some of the process that he went through when it came to actually recording this album. We found out who produced, who wrote, and just about some of the songs that he has coming out that'll bless the people. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this interview with L Spenser Smith. I've hijacked her show today because we have a special guest in the studio. It's L Spenser Smith, you guys. Guess what? L Spenser Smith, he's a graduate of FAMU. You just heard.
You gotta know it. Go Rattlers, go Rattlers. Yes.
You just heard the Florida A&M University Gospel Choir with I Won't Complain, aka I Can't Complain. And that was featuring L Spenser Smith too, along with Karen Clark Sheard. Just a little bit about him. He's a member of the Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. All right. You better call it out on today. Is it surprising? You were a former middle school band director.
Yes.
You know, I had to research a little bit. Okay, so in 2000, you were at the age of 29, you became one of the youngest men to be duly consecrated as a bishop in your Reformation, Kingdom Fellowship Covenant Ministries, based in Baltimore, Maryland. And I understand that you began singing before audiences at the age of 4, taught yourself how to play piano by 11, and secured your first minister of music position at 12.
Absolutely.
Are you tired?
Listen. It's been an awesome journey. It's been, God has been so good to me. And really, I'm fortunate to have been around this long. And listening to you read this bio, it's so funny. It is so funny. I feel so young.
Wow, you should. You're young. All right, so let me ask you this. Tell us a little bit about what you have going on now in regards to the single.
Okay.
And your new project.
You know what? This is my first solo project. Normally people are used to hearing me sing with my group Testament. We've done that for a few years. And I took some time off from the industry because I really, number one, wanted to focus on my children. They were teenagers at the time when I started in the industry. And I wanted to make sure that they were well adjusted with high school. I wanted to be a present father.
Okay.
And so we took a few years off from singing and just kind of stayed there. I pastored 2 churches in Alabama, one in Birmingham and Tuscaloosa. So I wanted to make sure that I fulfilled the call and, really work with my church and grew it up. Yeah. So, I just kind of was doing my thing. And then my oldest son, he came to me and said, you know what, Dad, you've been helping and working with other people so long. It's your time to do your thing. So I gave myself a birthday present. That was my first solo recording.
Wow.
And one of the moments of the night was my single, My Life.
Okay.
And that song is so organic to the journey of believers. Sometimes the church even in general, makes us hate the journey because our journey is mixed with falls and failures and mistakes. And so we're in this kind of culture where people try to out you and try to expose you, try to disqualify you from the call of God. And God said to me clearly, if you don't have a journey, then you won't have a testimony.
Right.
And so a friend of mine from Rockville, Illinois, Justin Francis, he sent me this chorus, My Life is a Testimony. And it just touched my heart. And so I wrote some verses to it. And that night, Bianca, when I sang it, you could hear it on the record. I was just really overwhelmed because for 40 years, God has brought me to this place. He's kept me. He's fulfilled every promise. I haven't been perfect, and nobody has.
Right.
And on the single, there's no overdubs. The way you hear it is how I sang it that night.
Wow.
My producer said, he got into the studio and said, if you touch this, it might be polished, but you won't bring people into the moment. And so My Life is just a big song for me. And it was an automatic, instant decision to make that the single because that's kind of what I wanted people to get back now that I'm back in the industry singing gospel. I really never left. I kind of wrote some things,
right.
But I wanted people to feel the intensity, the sincerity, and really be able to identify that your journey matters to God. Even if everybody else tries to scandalize your journey and try to make it seem like you're a failure, your life is a testimony. You're going to bless somebody with your life. Why? Because God has never given up on you.
Yeah, I like that line.
Yeah.
Yes.
Say it, girl, say it.
I love that now.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so You know, I hope everybody, falls in love with the single. It's been doing great at radio so far. And it's the lead single to my new album called Unstoppable, be out this fall.
Okay.
And God bless me, I'm on my own label now.
All right,
Smithworks label. Yeah, Smithworks.
What's the name of that?
Smithworks.
Smithworks.
Yeah,
Okay.
Smithworks label. I partnered with my son. And we just garnered a major distribution deal, independent deal, filtered with E1 by E1 Distribution through their label services. So hey, God did it. That's all I can say is God did it. He's been faithful, and my life is a testimony, girl.
Wow. So let's talk about who produced, who wrote on the album. I mean, what do you have going on?
Well, producer. Listen, amazing. The Unstoppable is written by Jason Nelson. So, right? So
go ahead and go up.
Listen, so I said, Jay, because we just that close. And I said, Jay, I need a song for my record. I'm getting ready to do it. And he was a major encouragement for me doing it. He was like, your voice is missing. I was like, really? Coming from Jason Nelson? That was major. Right. And it was right after the major storm in Tuscaloosa in 2011, where it just wiped out everything. And everything around our church was devastated. I'm talking about nothing was there except our church.
Wow.
And he sent me the song. He was playing his guitar. He was learning how to play acoustic at the time. And he sent me the chorus of Unstoppable. And the Lord said, that's the song. That's the title of the record. And so then Jason said, listen, I know who needs to produce this record for you. He produced my record, Dana Saray. Now, you might know Dana from Ty Tribbett.
Okay.
He's done some great things in the industry, Grammy Award nominated. And Dana and I got together, and it was just magic from the start. Dana said, well, who's doing your background? I said, let me call a friend. So I called Daniel Johnson from New Breed. And
you better call him.
Right, I called Daniel, and he said, yo, L, this would be great.
Wow.
So we got down in our basement. In 2 days, we did the record.
Wow.
In 2 days, we put the songs together, we put arrangements together, and add my son, who's up and coming. Y'all look out for him, L Smith. I'm telling you, they put together, helped me do it. And the writers, we just collaborated. I wanted to hear what other people thought I should sound like. So I gave a lot of platform for a lot of other writers. I did some writing on it. But and they nailed me down to a T, so I'm excited.
Wow, okay, so you guys heard that. Here first.
Yes.
Hopefully in the CSRA you heard that first. Right now we're going to play that song that he's talking about, My Life. And then I have in parentheses, is a testimony. I love this song, you all. If you don't have it, you need to go to iTunes right now and download this song. It's wonderful, you guys. It takes you straight into the presence of the Lord. Please stay with us. We have more with L Spenser Smith, the Bishop, coming up next, okay? Pay attention to this song, L Spenser Smith with My Life. Let's see, who are your musical influences?
Indeed,
Who
Marvin
you like?
Winans.
Oh, yeah.
Marvin Gaye. I love this mixture of 70s R&B. That's where I grew up. Earth, Wind and Fire, Confunction, the Bar-Kays, Gerald Alston, and then of course, singers like Marvin, the Winans, Commission. I like the smoothness, Daryl Coley's technical skill, Twinkie Clark, Karen. I'm just a potpourri of all these great people who I love quartet too.
All right,
listen,
come
because
on. You're from Alabama, though, right?
No, I am
Where are
from
you
South Carolina.
You're from South Carolina?
I am from Monk's Corner. Come on, somebody.
What? Come on. Where is Monk's Corner?
Really?
Where is that? I know for real. Where is that?
It is the
I don't know where that
below
is.
Charleston.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I can hear it a little bit now that you said it.
Man, what you talking about?
There it is. There it was. I heard it now that you said it. Okay, I don't know where. I'm sorry, you guys.
Yes, but I'm I love quartet.
Wow.
Because if people listen, quartet has some of the cleanest singers. When it comes to singing and patterns and riffs and runs, they don't miss. I mean, really.
So who's your favorite quartet?
My favorite quartet would be probably the Canton Spirituals.
Okay.
I love Harvey. I love Harvey. I just love Harvey. He does just enough.
Okay.
My now quartet singer is probably the Williams Singers or Lisa Knowles.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Tim Rogers and the fellas.
Yes.
Yeah, they get it done.
Yes.
Yeah, so,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so I know you're a bishop, and you just said that you pastor 2 churches. So how do you balance being a bishop and pastoring 2 churches, with your music career, or with your, what you're going back out to do now?
Very prayerfully and very carefully.
Okay.
First of all, I have a great family. My wife, I couldn't do anything without her. Normally she would be here, but she's in Dallas this week, handling business, and I have a great staff at church. And again, I took those years off to be able to do this moment. And so without that, I probably would be frazzled at my ends. And of course, the days still get hectic and all that I have to do. Not just taking care of my 2 churches, but the churches who call me their bishop. I have that responsibility as well. My main thing, however, is to be a husband and a father. If I fail in that, then bishop what? If a man doesn't rule his own house, well, how can he rule the house of God? So, right. So, training for that in my own house has taught me how to balance and multitask where I am now.
Okay. All right. So, you did those 2 songs with Hart. You did 2 songs with Hart Ramsey, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, how was it working with him and with his group?
Hart Ramsey is, I consider being my brother from another mother.
Okay.
I mean, it's just his musical ear, and of course he plays. Just working with him was phenomenal because he has such an appreciation, number one, for the word, and with music, and then when you add Aaron Lindsay, who produced the record, to bring the music to a whole nother level, and then of course backgrounds were arranged by Daniel Johnson, right? So
there it is again.
Right, there he goes again, right? So I mean, working with that really took my idea of professionalism in the music industry as well. So elevated it, and seeing how to put together things. He's meticulous about sound, tone, lyric. He reminds me of my other mentor, Donald Lawrence. It's just when you around people that pay that much attention to what gospel ought to sound like and leave nothing up to chance, it only polishes you and makes you better.
Okay, so that's good. All right, so where can we find you on social networks?
Listen, I am L Spenser Smith on everything, and that's Spencer with 2 S's. Now, if you put a C on that last S, where the last S should be, you're going to get an L Spencer, but he won't be me. So I am L Spenser Smith on Facebook, L Spenser Smith on Twitter, L Spenser Smith on Instagram and Social Cam, and you can go to my website, lspensersmith.com, and you can find out where I'll be, what I'm doing, and pull down the single. I think we have some snippets of the record coming out too as well.
All right. Okay. Good. And when is the album coming out again?
It's coming out. It's slated to come out September.
Okay.
But it's the fall.
Okay. He said the fall. You won't pin him down today.
Right.
But
It's the fall.
Okay.
It will be the fall though.
All right, you guys, look out for that. L Spenser Smith with Unstoppable.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, make sure you are tuned in to WNRR Gospel 1380 AM. We'll let you know when that's coming out on our news segment that I do every Sunday morning. We'll let you know all of the happenings that are going on as well, too. So make sure you are actually listening to us, okay? All right, so if there's one thing you want to leave about your ministry, and what you do with the people that are listening or people that are fans that follow you, what would that thing be?
One of the things that I kind of want to leave is enjoy the journey of walking with the Lord. One of the things, Bianca, that my ministry has really been focused on, especially this year, is I've called 2014 the confident year. Being confident in this one thing, that he that hath begun a good work in you shall perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. Sometimes, we get around people, again, who make us feel like we're not worthy, who make us feel like the grace of God works for them, but it doesn't work for us. And the truth of the matter is, that's a tactic and a ploy by the enemy to make you stop, to make you hinder in what God has called you to do. But the truth of the matter is that God gives us, to some degree, a thorn to keep us hooked to his grace. And it is that we're able to say, I am an unstoppable force in the earth because Jesus is in me. I can do what? All things through Christ who strengthens me. So I encourage everyone to take your entire life, the good, the bad, the plus, the minuses, the addition, and the attrition. Add it all together, and Romans 8:28 says he's able to make all things work together for our good. And so be encouraged and be unstoppable.
All right, you guys, you heard it here. L Spenser Smith.